This is historic efforts by the state to mainly deal with the inflation and stabilization pressures that we feel. As you heard through here, I think three areas that are significant in this budget you will see, aside from the raises and the school safety, are our efforts to stabilize and address the inflation costs that our citizens are bearing. We've put over $1 billion into the reserve so that we do not have to take from additional tax dollars from our families who are struggling to meet this, as well as an additional $250 million into a capital inflation reserve on the projects we're responsible for. So that's a significant investment to not roll down that burden of these high gas prices and the inflation that our families are seeing across North Carolina. We're going to put North Carolina's house in order. The second thing that I would tell you that we've invested in incredibly in this budget is an additional $600 million for water and sewer and infrastructure projects. Together with another $233 million for the ARPA funds, we will have invested over $2.5 billion in water and sewer projects that help our state. That means that our locals do not have to raise taxes to do that. We can address long-standing deteriorations of systems for the health and safety of our citizens. And we're all doing it without a single debt. We've invested in the third thing we've got is an investment in our capital and infrastructure costs. We've invested over almost $7 billion in our capital infrastructure without a single raise in the debt on there. The third issue I'd like to talk about is transportation. A significant area, you heard it mentioned, we've started a transfer of funds from the general fund to support to increase revenues in our investments in our roads and bridges. And this is significant investment. In fact, this budget amounts to a 14% increase in transportation expenditures over this next year. Increase in the highway fund, that's where our maintenance of our highways take place. It's an increase of over 12%. And the Highway Trust Fund is an increase of over 18%. And we're doing this without burdening our taxpayers at a time where they're struggling in their homes trying to make ends meet with all this. This is a major emphasis of our budget, and we believe we're putting North Carolina on a sound footing so that we can weather the storm. Thank you.